Hi, welcome to Hey Parents, Let's Chat, where the more we share, the more we learn, and the better parents we become. And so today I wanted to have a chat about some of those phrases that you've probably heard once or twice, but they probably drive you nuts, kind of like they drove me nuts. And those are the phrases that are, we don't have anything to eat in this house, or we have nothing to snack on, or we don't have anything I like. Seriously. So we go, and every week we spend hundreds of dollars, right? All of us. We all go grocery shopping. We spend hundreds of dollars for us to go through all of that effort and work just to come back and spend all that money just to come back at home and listen to people complain about it. So I got done with the complaining. And so here's how I handled it. And I'm hoping that you guys can learn from this. As with all of my videos, I try to share experiences that I've learned from, mistakes that I've made, just to try to minimize some of the stresses for other parents. And so here's how I handled all of these super annoying comments. I planned for the week my grocery shopping, and I gave each of my kids one meal. So I have two kids, so they each could tell me like what would be the meal that they want to pick. So for instance, my daughter might have said tacos. Great, that's your meal for the week. And I'd say to my son, what would you like? And he would tell me his meal. And I would buy it. I would prepare it. Sometimes I would even have them help me cook it. Like my daughter, all about tacos. Yes, absolutely. She can help me cook it. And so I would sometimes cook it myself, or I would often have them cook it themselves. It kind of depended on our schedule. And whether they were available with sports and so forth. So we kind of traded off with that. But they were able to help plan the menu. That way they couldn't be complaining that I'm not making what they like or don't like. So that was focusing on dinner. But it was the snacks that were also driving me crazy. And so I told them, I said, okay, you guys are going to come shopping with me for the week. And I'm going to give you each an allowance. I gave them a budget of, and what I did is I calculated like an estimate of how much I was spending on snacks for the week. And so I estimated that I was spending about $40, on fruit roll-ups and, Jellos in cups and applesauce in cups and like all of those things, little bags of goldfish, little bags of chips, whatever. I was spending about $40 a week on snacks. And these were snacks that in our house they could just help themselves whenever they wanted to. And sometimes they would be snacks that they would pack for lunches for school or for car rides and so forth. So I gave them $20 each. And I said, okay, you guys can go ahead and pick out your snacks. And again, my kids are right now 20 and 22. So this was about 10, 12 years ago. So the prices were a little bit different. And so you're going to want to figure out what your budget will allow for. But either way, I gave them each $20. I said, let's go to the store. I did my grocery shopping and I sent them off into the grocery store. I said, okay, you guys can go figure out what you want, pick it out, put it in the cart, and you guys will pay for it. And here is how this worked out. I have to tell you that it worked out beautifully. My kids picked out their own foods, and they had to pay for it, which means they had to actually pay attention to the budget, like how much am I spending on this, how much am I spending on that. And part of the deal was that whatever they bought, it was theirs for the week. And I wasn't buying any snacks because I just gave you part of my budget to go buy snacks. But they couldn't complain. So these were your snacks. You picked it out. Don't complain about it. And so they picked out their things. They estimated to make sure they weren't going to go over $20. We went through the line, and I had them pay for their own. I was right there behind them in case they needed a little extra money or whatever. They went in front of me. But they each paid for their own. That way they had the experience of shopping. estimating, paying, making sure they have enough money, and so they were responsible for it. So this worked out beautifully. I'm going to warn you, depending on what kind of kids you have, my experience, so my daughter was super practical. My daughter was very health conscious, and she made sure that she had a lot that would last her all week long. And so she had lots of little things. And so she was very practical. My son, you guys, he went straight to the fish section of our store and ordered a cooked lobster. And that was his choice, and he loved it. He didn't complain all week, but he really did enjoy a cooked lobster, and he made it last a couple days. He took care of it himself. Oh my gosh, cracked me up, absolutely cracked me up. Walked right up to the fish counter and ordered it himself, took it home, took care of it himself, ate a little bit. It might have lasted maybe 3 days, but it was a lesson learned. The next time he went shopping, he didn't get a cooked lobster, but this whole concept really worked for us. The kids were able to plan. They were able to use some of their math skills. They were able to learn how to shop and actually pay for something in the store on their own. So while this was a concept that I needed as a parent so that my children would stop driving me crazy, it actually turned out to be like this really cool thing that benefited our kids on many levels. And so I wanted to share this idea because I know that there are probably lots of you that are hearing these phrases at home yourselves. And I hope that you find it super helpful. And I want you to know that you have to make it a deal where if you allow the kids to do this, they may not complain. And I hope that you find this helpful and you hear less complaining in your house. I know it certainly helped us in ours. So if you have found value in our video, go ahead and hit subscribe. I promise you won't get any junk emails, but it will show support for some of the parenting messages that I have. Make sure that you share, like, all of those good things, and certainly go to heyparentsletschat.com where you can join the conversations. But conversations you can join anywhere. Just add your comments in the comment section so that if you have experiences that you have learned from and other parents could certainly benefit, share. Add your comments, share our thoughts, because the more we share, the more we learn and the better parents we become. So thank you for joining us. And until our next chat, happy parenting.